Hey everyone! Today we're here with Sheena to talk about success and many other things. Today I'm going to be doing the camera, woman thing, and directing, and I'll let Armin do most of the hosting. Let's get to beautiful animal activist, violinist, artist. She'll talk more about herself. And Armin, you got the mic. Action. Go.
We are here with the multi-talented Sheena Gao. Sheena, thank you so much for joining us in our episode of Searching for Goodness. You are a musician, you're vegan.
On June 19, 2017, one of the largest trucks contains over 1,000 dogs bound to Yulin Dog Meat Festival was stopped by Chinese volunteers, made it the largest one-time rescue in history. June 19th, so we call it 619. We're here at the clinic. We have 70 intensive care dogs coming from the truck. We have also 400 dogs that's healthy, that still needs care because they have skin conditions, torn from the transportations. It's really rough condition. The funding is definitely tight because everyone here are volunteers, spending their time here, spending all their effort to come here, taking hours of rides just to get here to help the dogs. This is truly amazing, courageous for the young generation of China.
Animal rights activist, and you are a costume stylist.
I want you to know that it's our time. You and me bleed the same light. I want you to know that I'm all yours. You and me, we're the same force. I want you to know that it's our time. You and me bleed the same light. I want you to know that I'm all yours. You and me run the same course.
So please tell our listeners who you are.
Hi, I'm Sheena Gao. I'm originally from China and moved here for my master's degree for textiles and fashion. But I do have a bachelor's degree in musical performance. So I'm very involved in arts, music, and creativity. And I have such a journey from what I was in China, eating animals, to now I'm an animal activist and searching for kindness and humanity in the United States. It is quite a journey, and I love to share my thoughts with you guys. And of course, I am here with my beautiful Momo Cello. She's a rescue.
Yeah, tell us a little bit. You said you mentioned that
I
you just
got
rescued
her last May. I rescued her. Two of my pets passed away. One is called Monet, one is Cello. You can tell I name all my animals like artist's name, a musician's name, and I was heartbroken. And I saw her being rescued out of a park in a box with a broken leg. The foundation called Animal Hope and Wellness Foundation took her in. I saw her. She likes the combination of the two dogs passed away. I just combined their name and I called it Monet Cello, called it Moncello. So her name is Moncello, short for Momo. Right, Momo? Are you a good girl? I had her for almost a year, and she really healed my heart. When you lose an animal, someone you love, you never recover, but you live with the pain and learn to love again. So now I'm loving this girl. I have another one called Mozart. She's resting in backstage. The climate changing, scientifically, we have already supported the data that global human activities has caused the climate change, especially fossil fuel burning, deforestation. Those are major impact on our climate. As I mentioned earlier, we live in this earth, we're all together. Why are we not taking care of our home? Something we can do is to stop. I personally passionate about animals. Cattle ranching is actually cause deforestation, like Amazon, 60%. That's massive. And I'll consume 1/3 of the global water, and 1/3 of the crops all went to feeding the cattle. When you can use that opportunity to grow for human consumptions, that's the way to do it, because we kill about 78 billion or almost 80 billion animals a year globally just for human consumption, right? So I think we need to look into the impact of deforestation and stop eating animals, helping the climate to stabilize, because we only have one Earth to live. What we're doing is causing a lot of extreme temperature changes, from drought to flood to sea level rising, just killing a lot of animals as we deforestation. That's just not good for humanity.
Yeah, I mean, the animals are definitely like a primary concern, when it comes to our climate. I mean,
Right.
let's not forget, like, even the farm animals.
Right, farm animals. We're just getting 1/3 of the water, as we were talking about. We're having water scarcity, so we need water to survive, and we feed 1/3 of the global water to the cattle industry or farmed animal industry.
I mean, you're a sweet-natured human being, also a spiritual person. You have a kindred spirit. And how do you see any connection between science and spirituality and how they interconnect?
Yes, I do. Funny that you asked that question. I moved here from China because America is such a Christian-based country. Everyone would ask me, like, what's your religion? That's the question people always ask. I never used to able to answer that question because I don't believe in religion. And at first I thought maybe I should pick a religion to join. But as I get older, I don't find a need to have a religion, because religion to me, it's more of like finding certain belief systems that joined by other people that have the same shared value and belief system. Sometimes it can be separating to others, like my beliefs are better than yours, and my God is better than yours. Versus spirituality, to me, it's a collective consciousness. It's a searching for meaning beyond oneself. It transcends self. Like, it's not about my personal greed and need. It's about what can we do to have this oneness, the collective consciousness awakenings, so we can see the truth. Your suffering is my suffering, right? Mm-hmm. So I always look into that, and I believe in frequencies. I believe in energy, and quantum physics. It's one of the subjects I really love. So I do believe in higher power. I don't believe in specific man-made institution, but I believe in higher power. The higher power really connects all of us at our highest selves. So we all connect to that high power. When we channel into that highest power, we conjures up the purest love and compassion for others. So I do believe in that sense of spirituality, that highest vibration, highest energy that help the world to heal. I do understand that actually when you're at the highest, purest vibration, you can actually change the outcome. And you can change your destiny through that, to seeking for the meaning and existence of oneself. I exist for you. I exist for this beautiful creature. He exists for us. We're all intertwined. in the vibrational level and energetic level.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, there is a higher power, and you're also channeling your own power. Now, I want to ask you, like, how many animals have you rescued? Like, how many rescue animals now have a home because of you?
Well, I have been assisting a lot of foundations, like I fosters a lot of dogs, and so they can find their homes. I've never really calculated, but I helped in assisting a lot of dogs. I think I might have fostered 15 dogs here and there. One of them passed away, and because of severe abuse. That was the most heartbreaking experience. I found animals are truly our teachers. They teach us what love is all about, unconditional love, meaning the human to human love. Sometimes we has reciprocities, like, okay, you help me, well, I expected something in return. But not with animals. You give and they give you, they don't expect anything. That's the purest form of compassion and love. And I learned from them. When they pass away, I cry for every single person. If I read an animal passing away online, I will be crying because I just know how innocent they are, how pure they are.
And animals are also they're like kids. They're like your sons and daughters.
Right.
So of course it's going to hit home.
Like I see all animals equally, from to a little ant that struggles to carry a little crumb of a bread from one end to the other, to human working on a high rise and on a like a computer technology. I see we're all in the grand universe. We're all the same. We function differently, but it's all for our humanity, in a sense. And I do want to mention the sense of we need to take a less about me, I, that word to be replaced to us and we. In this collective earth, it should be more of us as one, not us, me, you. And going to the religion part, I'm kind of jumping back. Yeah. Religion can be a fear-based. Like if you didn't do this, you can go to hell. But in spirituality, it's about seeking for higher purpose out of love and out of, desire to better this universe, better ourselves within and without.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, you mentioned that you traveled all continents.
I love travel.
Was Antarctica one of the continents?
I love the fact that the Antarctica, it is extremely, it's the coldest and it's the windiest. And I would never thought Antarctica was the driest continent. It's fascinating to me. And it definitely regulates, from that far, still regulates our temperature ecosystem. So we really need to protect that. Not to mention all these lovable animals like penguins and whales. How magnificent all these creatures are. I definitely want to go one day.
Yeah, of course. You have your beautiful dog. You are obviously a big animal lover.
Yes.
And we all love animals. And part of this show, part of Searching for Goodness, we asked this question to our guests. This happened accidentally, but all of a sudden birds became a central theme in our documentary series. And of course we want to get your thoughts on birds.
Birds. Wow, birds are magical. Truly are. Because this is a funny thing, because someone always asks me, say, hey, Sheena, if you have superpower, what do you want? Fly. I want to fly. You can see the bird's eye view of the earth. Everything you can see, it's from bird's eye view. Birds comes in, I think it was 10,000 species of the birds. The color, their sound, their habit are so different. Can you imagine we don't have birds? What's so fascinating? When I was living in West Hollywood, During the springtime, there's a robin. Oh, every night, sing you the love songs. Like I recorded it and I made a video out of it. It was just magnificent. And most recently, I just found that there's one bird. It's called a European starling. Wow! If you listen to this bird speak and sing, the voice of the million artists. It comes. You have to listen to it to believe that that's coming from one little tiny bird. I just love birds. The symbol of peace and humanity. You know, we love to use them in our motifs, in the art, in the storylines. We admire birds as human, and we wish we can fly like them. You know, like that's why we have the plane, mimicking the birds, right?
And you also need to add harmony.
That's true. That's true. Harmony for the birds. How about the birds can sing all together? This world would be a better place.
They are.
Or human.
Yeah.
They bring joy to our universe.
Right. And I never liked when they lock the bird in a little cage. Can you imagine? You have the wings, you cannot fly. Just like you have a voice, you cannot speak. That's what animals are. They would want to tell us differently. Let me free. I want to fly. I want to see the world. Why we keep them? Humans love to enslave animals, enslave birds. You know? We have to stop. We have to change that mindset, change the concept of, because we are human, we can enslave anything around us. You know?
Can you tell a little bit about the veganism, like how you became a vegan and why would you recommend people to be vegan? Can you talk a little bit about that veganism and animal activism?
Well, you know what? Yes, last night I went to see a movie. I recommend to anyone. It's called Christspiracy. The same director, Kip, has produced Seaspiracy and Cowspiracy. Unbelievable. Like, you gotta really watch that. How humans have deviated from religion, spirituality, religion, to not eating animals, to sacrifice the animals. It's controversial, but it's powerful. For me personally, it was when I grew up, in China, we in the market would buy live animals, right? Like in a lot of countries. You buy chicken and you have to come home and you kill it. And my dad would kill the chicken. I often get so scared. I just feel something's wrong. When you watch an animal being in distress, being suffering, like tortured to death for our consumption, I was like, that's not right. And we'll hide it, you know? But when I come to America, I was able to buy chicken because there's no head, right? You don't have the direct connection. They, in the Western world, I think they are much more civilized. But really, is that really civilized? You just hide the cruelty. You package it, put in the chicken with the breast, without the head, without the tail, thinking, you know, it's just some item, an article, I'm eating it. But I just felt wrong since a childhood. When I was at outing, I noticed there's a shift. The company picnic, they give you this is a half chicken.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't cut in there. I can see the shape of the chicken. And my friend goes like, let me cut it for you. So I was continuing eating animals. And my friends, just here and there, they bury the seeds. It just clicked in my brain, like, oh, this is just awaken my soul. A friend of mine dropped leaflets in my mailbox in work because she's a vegetarian. She told, in the pamphlets, I never knew the torture the animals had to go through for us to eat them. They literally pull their teeth out when there's no anesthesia for the pigs. They were crying and screaming. They were being murdered at the 6 months old babies. They're smarter than dogs. And when I really draw the connection is one day I come across image of a dog being slaughtered in China for dog meat trade. And I never knew that. I never knew it was happening. People say, don't you know China's still eating dogs? I said, no idea. Because China has 57 different minorities. Every country, every city, has different dialects, different habit, different cuisine. It's not rampantly available. You can just buy a dog and eat it. It's very rare in certain areas. Where I grew up, I never see a dog being slaughtered for food. But it happens in the Guangxi and Guangdong province in the southern part. And when I saw that, being a Chinese, I'm very proud of our culture. But that's not the part that I'm proud of. Eating anything, everything, as thinking you're at the top of food chain, I can eat anything. But being a top of food chain means you should show mercy and compassion to others. So when your soul is awakened, you will see the suffering when you're eating an animal being slaughtered in so much pain and anguish physically. You're actually consuming the suffering of the animal's energy. That how can you find a peace when you're eating animals? So when I started fighting for dogs, for the dog rights, animal peace, and I started to draw the connection. Like how can I look at the dog meat and then I look at pig meat and the cow meat, thinking that's acceptable to eat one but not the other, right? So the final draw, I was invited to a screening in the Hollywood, in the Jim Henson studio, which is old Hollywood studio by Charlie Chaplin. I love him, and the theater was beautiful. I was so excited going there to watch a movie. I didn't even know anything about the movie, and there's so many celebrities and directors. And the opening scene was 2 cows put into the tunnel, narrow tunnel that body can barely fit, and they zap them with the electric wand to force them to walk towards this door opening up was into the slaughter. You just see the foot goes in there. I cried. Their eyes, their fear, they want to run, but their body could not get away from the murderer, which is us human. And I cried from the beginning to the movie, and I stopped eating meat. I couldn't do it anymore. Every time I pick up a piece of animal flesh, I see the eyes looking at me. The soul, when you see into each other, animals' eyes, you see the soul, you see a friend, as they always say. I don't see them as just another being, like another object, like this little leaves. But they are sentient beings. They feel suffering, they feel pain. So every time if I inflict suffering to another being, my soul hurts, my heart hurts. I couldn't do this to myself. So I become an animal activist. I want to be their voice because no one listens to them. They cry, the tears coming down. Baby calf will beg for their lives. And humans are the only people, they're so cruel, they don't care. They take the calf away, kill them for meat, it was veal babies, and then they drink milk. We are the only adults still drinking milk, and there's another species of milk. If I was to ask anyone, can you drink the human milk? You'd be like, gross. But why would you drink a cow's milk that's meant for their children to grow up, to strengthen their bone, but does nothing for us but osteoporosis? We are so used to drinking milk, but we are all lactose intolerant, but we're still drinking it. We're still eating it, and we'll become obese. We're eating it. There's a famous word called killing kills our health. There's so many reasons to give up on eating animals, which is meat, compassion, kindness to another being. They do not want to die for us. They don't want to be tortured to death. 2, for environment. Methane emission, water scarcity. 3rd is for our own health. By stop eating animals, you help your heart disease, you will high cholesterol, your blood vessel will not be clogged by the fat. Because a lot of people say, look at me, I'm so fit, I work out. No, your blood vessel is coated with fats of animal suffering. And you're not even looking at your energy being an animal eater, it just exudes suffering, no peace. no serenity in it. So I encourage everyone to at least reduce the consumption of animal products, reduce the suffering. You cannot find a peace if you're still eating murdered animals. You know?
Yeah. Everybody's diet is different, and when you hear all these stories about where your food comes from, it's just really heartbreaking.
Yeah, peace
And-
starts from your plate. To always say the word.
Yeah. And now I think as a society we have like come a long way, because now we're seeing like plant-based food in supermarkets.
Everywhere.
We're seeing advertising in
Unbelievable.
fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
You know? And I think people are now getting an education, with where the food comes from.
Right.
Thanks to the a movement and just smartphones and modern technology.
The
But
social media connected all of us to see the benefits of going plant-based and the benefits of not eating animals, and the animal are for us as a friend, and not for us to just torture and make them entertainment or abusing them for food or killing them for experiment.
Yeah.
No, not animals. So people, have you ever seen this experiment when people see animals killed in the movies, cries like a baby,
Yeah.
but then see another human killed like, like if the animal killed, oh my God.
yeah,
So in most
Yeah.
people, we all have empathies, right? Like, you know what's so fascinating? I want to see, this is called empathy to another being suffering. You feel the pain, you feel the suffering. A friend of mine one day tried to correct me. I said, I wish more people have empathy. She said, well, Sheena, you're wrong. Most people have empathy. I thought about that, and I come to realizing, no, that's not true. People have sympathy. They don't have empathy. Sympathy means like, oh, I'm so sorry for you. Your parents passed away, or your dog passed away. It's like coming at you from external, emotional, no connections. It's just like, I feel sorry for you. But empathy is putting myself in another being, literally feel what they feel. And it goes beyond human beings, not beyond human animals, right? All animals that I feel the suffering. I see a dog being beaten to death. My heart aches for it. So it's empathy.
Yeah.
So we rise the empathy, rise the vibration. That will really help humanity.
I think it's just all about just exercising your voice and just continuing to educate people about their food, because I know people who actually they had a health scare
Yeah.
and their daughter or son told them to go vegan and it saved their lives.
I want you to know that it's our time. You and me bleed the same light. I want you to know that I'm all yours. You and me around the same course.
Yeah, you can find me at Sheena's World. I have a little Instagram, and I give a much more of thoughts, poems, and the creative expressions in my Instagram. I would love to see the world a better place, and I would love to see concrete steps people can take to make this world a better place. Is to eat less animals and watch some of the movies that will educate you, elevate your soul growth. Because we can live on this earth for 90 years, being the same person, never evolve. But I believe we're here for a purpose, to learn, to grow, challenging ourselves to do things differently, the betterment of the planet, and to go out, hug a person, and smile to another person, and to give more energy that's positive, to change the world's vibration from the bottom level up, so we can make this world a better place for all, not just for human, for all creatures. Compassion for all. Oh, one famous saying, it's always say, like, you can live happy and healthy without harm others. Why don't we do that? We should do that.
Betsy is going to take the hot seat.
All right.
And she's going to ask you a couple of other
All right.
significant questions.
I love thought-provoking discussions
Yes.
that really like elevates my spirits. I love deep conversations.
And we mentioned energy. Good energy is contagious.
Oh, definitely, right? You want to be in the room with the people who has positive energy. Who wants to go in the room? Everyone's like, we want joy, happiness, and make it happen.
First thing I know about you, you're a violinist.
Yes.
And I saw this Barbie doll, which I love from your
Yeah.
family gift. And I love this book. It says success. It has like a little clock on it, like
Yeah.
clicking.
Counting down on the success.
Yes, that's a new question we added. Mr. Andy talks about it. You'll hear it in his episode. I would like to ask you, what do you think success is? Success is remembering to where am I?
Yes.
I'll just continue.
You want to start from the top?
No, let's go on.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of people think success has to be grand. Like, I must be a billionaire. I must become a CEO. I must perform at a Carnegie Hall. But you know what? To me, successful is a measurable steps that you set yourself to accomplish. It could be as small as I'm gonna go to Antarctica to see the penguins. Like, I made that happen. Then measurable steps for success, right? But overall leading into betterment of ourselves. So each person is very different. To me, it's steps. I have bucket list that I want to accomplish. That's each time I check one off, that's success to me. You know, so yeah, I measure small steps.
So small steps lead to big steps.
Yeah, the big steps are one day, that will be my biggest success is start a state-of-art, self-sustainable animal sanctuary that will help educate the world and generate a meaningful dialogue with people that would like to spend the day with the animals, that rescue animals, and to get to know them. That will be my ultimate success. So any donation out there would like to join this Dandelion Society, I call it Dandelion Society, is because dandelion, when you blow it, it flies everywhere. Those beautiful messages, the compassion, the kindness, the goodness that we talked about, it will just ripple through the air and land everywhere, anywhere. So everyone can feel the love and compassion. So they can come to the sanctuary to spend time with animals, whether it's chicken, lamb, pigs, horses. You know, those are rescue animals that will open a dialogue with the people that spend time with them. When you're there, you will see everything. So that's my ultimate success when I get the sanctuary going.
Very good. And I mean, that's a small step. You save this lovely puppy. What was the name of your puppy?
Moncello.
Moncello. You're a saved puppy. You're living in heaven. And I think that's great. I hope you can accomplish that thing. That's a beautiful dream. And I mean, from everything you told me, you seem like a really good and intelligent person. So what is goodness to you? Me, I keep searching for goodness. One thing is for me, love. You know, when you love, you become more good. You love your mom, you take care of her. You love your dog, you take care of him. Like, do you think maybe the answer is in love and people having more faith to each other? Because mistrust also.
Respect and compassion and the selflessness. That's the most important part. I feel goodness is taking the I and me out of the equation, but in replace with the we and us, right? That's where goodness comes. We show each other respect. That's the most important part. And respect, because we are different, but we are the same. But we constantly focus on the differences, so we never get better. We never have the goodness. You know what I mean? And the time we separate from different people, different species, we should treat this species differently, treat this race differently than other, orientation differently, then we can never be oneness.
Yeah.
So the only time the goodness comes is we perceive everyone as part of me.
Yeah.
And we're all connected in a sense. We're all connected through our highest power. The highest power is a connection to our highest beings. Because I want to channel myself to do goodness, to channel myself to be the best I can be. Everyday action make a difference, to do good.
What would it be like to live a day in your life? I want to know.
Right. The music, I've done classical music all my life, and I'm a Mozart twins. I do where the Marie Antoinette will play. You can see the duet we play with my other friend. She's also a vegan musician. We're a lot of vegan musicians.
Nice.
Do music and do art as well. I grew up. I always say music is my soul, because I believe music, to me, is a no neutrality. It's a capsule of the moment when you listen to the song. It locks into the emotion. You heard it. Years go by. You listen to the song again. It conjures up the same emotion. So music to me is so powerful, and I use the terms like it massages my energetic cells. It's like when I listen to it, it's like, oh, so beautiful. But sometimes if I don't want to have emotional conjured up, I listen to just nature. Silence is golden. Like I listen to nothing, but all the music would generate so much emotion for me. It brings me to tears sometimes, and makes me laugh and want to dance. It's just so powerful. But when music is my soul, I always say, but art is basically my heart.
Right.
I love visual art. My parents are architects. I love drawing. My parents kept a baby book. I draw since I was a baby and can pick up a pen. I draw them with teeth and like craziness. but I wish I had that book. But I studied painting, drawing, sculpture, graphic design. I also now dabble into AI art, so I do, I want to explore.
We forgot to ask about AI.
Yeah,
Did we ask
AI,
her
what do I
about
think
AI?
about AI?
We forgot.
Yes.
Please tell us your thoughts about AI. AI art we never explored before. What's your thoughts on
I'll show
that?
some of the art I did through AI. I think you have to learn to use it. AI, I think it's just like the 90s of the World Wide Web, 80s of World Wide Web and the 90s Wi-Fi. It's a human development. It's a technology advancement. I think it can be a great advantage to humanity, but there's a big but into that. It's my concern is going to be used for better purpose or end up in some people's hand will use and manipulate it, and greed will drive this into a catastrophe for humanity. So I'm conscious and anxious to see what this is going to lead us into. But currently, I'm using AI for art, AI for editing. There's a lot of benefits. For me, English is second language. I always need someone to correct my grammar, but AI is able to correct all my grammar issues. Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't have to call my friends. Can you do me a favor? Please look through this article.
I should learn that from you. It's not my first language too. So
yeah, I know.
it might be very beneficial.
But I think love is the ultimate language. We don't need a verbal language.
Beautiful.
War is bad.
Yes.
There's no winners in a war.
Very true. Very true. And pointing fingers one another is not resolving anything.
It's not
People,
resolving.
I mean, to me, I just don't understand. War is such a primitive thing. Like, aren't we evolved
Yeah.
enough yet to
Exactly.
sit down and figure out something
No, human
like a
has not
business?
evolved.
Why can't countries like think like a business? Like,
Right. No,
you
they
know,
do think about businesses. It's
but
called military
without
industrial
war,
complex.
that's
They
a
make
problem.
money. That's the biggest.
That's the
thing.
biggest problem.
So they destroy everything and build everything
Yeah.
for the pocket of some 1% rich, the
Exactly.
wealthy.
That's the only
We're
people
not
winning.
seeing- they're not seeing the global as a whole. Because your children, they don't see as my children. I can kill your children, but my children is much better. It's again the speciesism. One is better than the other. Who's qualified? One is better. Everyone think that theirs better. Then we'll never have peace.
Right.
I
I mean, the world will be a better place the minute people treat each other with
Respect.
more love and care
Yeah.
and respect. More like a family and friends.
yeah,
How you
with the
treat your
empathy
family
and
friends.
compassion.
Yes.
That's what we need. more.
Definitely. You're a
Yes.
wonderful person. It was wonderful
Thank
to
you.
interview you. Thank you so much. We met at New Year's 2024,
Yeah.
and I'm so glad we asked to
It was
interview you.
amazing.
Thanks
You
for-
have such a great energy. So we
You
talk
too.
about energy. When I met you, I just feel this bright energy.
Aw.
You have, like everyone has, right? When
You
meet someone,
too. You.
You will feel this person has a closed energy,
Right.
positive energy, joyful energy, painful energy. You can feel that. We're
Right.
very in tune. The
Right.
more you cultivate that, the more you recognize the energy you want to align yourself to.
Mhm.
And I always say, creative energy is the highest form of frequencies. Like you create beautiful things.
I believe.
Creation, destruction, creation. Let's create more.
Yes, and instead of fights and wars, people should try to like find ways to make things work because there's going to be conflicts. It's inevitable.
Right.
Inevitable. You
Yeah.
argue with your boyfriend, your friend, your mom.
With some of
There's
our-
always conflict.
there's an intellectual debate,
Mhm.
then you will see each other through another person's eye.
Right.
I see what you mean. You see mine. We can come to a resolution.
Right.
If you don't come to a resolution, that's not a debate.
Compromise.
What's the
I
point?
mean, I was in Tai Chi this morning. I'm a little bit into martial arts and Tai
Yeah,
Chi
it's
and that kind of
amazing.
stuff. And yin yang says a lot. The
Right,
balance.
yeah.
Like right now there's wars going on, Ukraine and Russia. There's Israel and Gaza, the whole
Yes.
thing, and somebody's blaming the other.
But in the end of the day, death and destruction should never be okay. Should never be okay.
Or homelessness.
Killing or homelessness. In any animals, it's common sense to say it's not okay. It's not okay. How about easy to say that?
I think there's one more secret evil, and we're both fan of Seinfeld. We love Seinfeld, and the
Right.
end of Seinfeld, the finale episode, it's like a little joke, but it's
Yeah.
so true. They go to prison for turning a blind eye on a crime, and I think we're all guilty of that.
Yeah, we are.
We are all pretending everything's okay and going on with our lives. Terry Gilliam, Brazil, like there was like all this craziness happening in the background, and they're having their
Yeah.
food, and they're this and
That's a
that.
crime.
That's a crime,
You're
and-
looking at a crime being committed. You're not doing anything. Not voiceover. We all are cowards in a sense. Like we're a fear of how other people is going to say about you. In the Hollywood, no one said anything about how about humanity. No one seemed to want to say that word. Humanity only warranted to certain people. Others don't get it. You don't deserve humanity. And the others, you have all the humanity deserve. How you're not God to decide that. Every person, every living being, from animal to human, deserve humanity. Deserve the kindness, the love, the respect given
Yeah.
to them.
And I saw some quote today. I watched Dune a few days ago, and there was a quote I really like: "Fear blinds your mind." Something like that. I might not be exactly accurate, but fear kind of
Yeah.
freezes you. But
Yeah.
I think faith is very important. Having faith in you, to each other, and that way I think we can come over all the fears.
Yeah.
That way.
Fear is a human negative trait we all have. I have sometimes just scared of what could happen, what happens. But most time, You know, you just have to step into braveries to make a difference.
Yes.
You know, I remember the first time I went to protest foie gras. You know foie gras? Foie gras is basically is a fatty liver from a duck. They torture the ducks,
Oh my God.
jam the food into their throat.
Oh, God.
You know, then their liver enlarged. That's a French cuisine, and they harvesting their livers, just eat their livers, and it torture these birds, right? And it's called a
So
cuisine.
inhumane.
And I went to this is my first protest. I was almost scared. I'm like, what do people think about me? I'm protesting, and I was like, no, it's okay to speak up for the creatures that didn't. The voice was not heard. I never want to say the animal doesn't have a voice. They certainly have a voice. We don't listen. We don't hear them.
Right.
They're crying. We don't hear. Yeah, you kill animal, they scream. Does that do anything to you, to your soul? No one does anything.
I
But
think that's definitely goodness.
Yeah.
Speaking up, standing up.
standing
That
up
is
for
definitely-
injustice.
Yeah,
I'm a Libra. I'm all for justice.
that's beautiful.
But I need a more bravery to speak up more when I see
think
injustice.
You're on the right track.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Make a difference. Be
Definitely. Be
good. Be
good.
kind.
Come, let's do one more time. We finish it up.
You're relaxing
Bye.
your shirt.
Let's end it together, this episode.
Can you see each other?
We should
Okay.
be able, at least this one should definitely be seeing all of us. So this is the end of our episode with beautiful Sheena Inside and Out. You're
Thank
beautiful.
you so much.
And
I'm striving for that.
and the beautiful puppy. Thank you for being our little host, little guest. Okay, let's finish with Goodness Will Win. And everything you guys listen, you do it too.
Right?
Yeah.
Goodness will win.
Searching for goodness. Subscribe now and share. Bye bye.